I know. You don't want to hear it. We've got more spring snow on the way for areas of the Midwest. In fact, we're talking a decent snowstorm here in mid-April. We'll detail that coming up in this update on Severe Weather Now. Details here on Severe Weather Now in terms of the snow that we're expecting across a good portion of the Midwest from this late season storm. First of all, if you're new to us, please hit subscribe. That will get you the updates you need, especially during severe weather. That's really what we focus on. We go live during tornado and severe weather coverage periods. And you know what? We talk about snow too, because that's what we're dealing with right now across many areas of the Great Lakes, and we've got more on the way. So let's get into this storm. This is going to be a Thursday night and Friday storm system that's going to develop out in the plains. What you're seeing over there towards Pennsylvania, that's a quick moving system. May put down an inch or two, a little bit of lake effect behind that. But what we're really keeping our eye on is back towards Iowa and areas of Nebraska. This will be an area low pressure that will develop. We'll have a strip of snow that develops on the northern side of that, all rain on the southern side, but where that fine line sets up, that's where we're expecting some of the higher snowfall rates. This area of snow, as we go throughout the day on Thursday, will spread across areas of central and southern Iowa, perhaps getting into northern Missouri, but the bullseye there is going to be from Iowa to Illinois to Indiana to Ohio to Pennsylvania, especially some of the higher elevations. And this is again Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, Friday on into Friday afternoon across areas of PA. So here we go. System continues to get going. We've got snow spreading into Chicago. This is Thursday night. Heavy snow ongoing from areas near Rockford back towards Des Moines, Cedar Rapids. This storm will continue off to the east with heavy snow moving through Chicago early Friday morning. There's not much of a commute now, I get that, but if you do have travel plans in and out of Chicago as we go into your Friday morning, the problem with this is it's going to fall at night. If it falls during the daytime this time of year, the strong April sun will melt that away, right? But this is going to happen at night, so we're going to have a lot of slush around, likely some slick roads Friday morning in Chicago. Indiana gets the brunt of this as we're going into Friday morning with some heavier snow. The sun will have come up by now, hopefully, if things go as planned. So a lot of this, again, will start to melt as we get that sun out, especially back in Iowa. It'll just be drip dropping by afternoon, likely with some sunshine. The system continues east, heading into Ohio. Cleveland, you'll be right on that borderline between rain and snow. I do think you end up with primarily snow out of this back towards the Toledo area. This is now Friday afternoon, and then as we go into Friday evening, models indicating a little bit of warm air lobe gets in there into the PA area. I'm kind of skeptical of that. I would imagine we're still going to get some pretty decent snow into Pennsylvania, especially some of the higher elevations. And then behind that, you can see we deal with a little bit of lake effect, but a much colder pattern setting in. Okay, let's talk how much snow. We'll take you through what all the models are saying in terms of snowfall. Keep in mind, it is a warm ground this time of year compared to the middle of January, so some of this will melt. This is how much this is expected to fall. And the first model we're looking at is the NAM. The NAM tends to be pretty precip heavy, so some of these totals I think are a little high. We'll see how this storm ends up going, but you notice this is no slack of a storm system. The NAM is bringing in some warmer air with it, so the Ohio totals are down, but they're pretty high. Areas of Iowa, Illinois, even into Indiana, some 7 to as much as 12 inches of snow expected out of the NAM. I would cautiously say maybe 5 to 10 in some of the greater spots. But again, something that we need to keep a close eye on. Let's zip through the other models briefly. This is what the Euro is saying. I would agree more in line with this, with the general strip. Wherever that rain changes to snow, that's where you get the highest rates. I think a general strip of that of maybe 3, 6, 7 inches possible with that. I think most areas will settle into a very wet, slushy 2 to 4. But it's a very narrow band, as you can see. The American model, the GFS, has a little bit higher totals. You can see a general 4 to 8 in that heavier strip of snow. And look at the dividing line between Chicago, around 2 inches, just down to your south, a good 25 to 50 miles or so, we're talking 6 or 7. So the track of that low is going to be crucial. And just for kicks, let's look at the Canadian model. tends to be a little snow heavy as well. You can see a couple bullseyes there in areas of Iowa, another one as you get on into Indiana. Let's talk some good news in that forecast, and for the rest of you across the country, temperatures are going to be on the upswing, especially across areas of the Midwest, the western U.S. We've had some warmer conditions as of late as you get towards the west coast, but this system is going to bring a brief cool down before we really start to talk good numbers. So temperatures here are going to take a nosedive across the Rockies. That's where we're going to see a lot of snow as well with this system. In fact, maybe a foot and a half in areas near Denver as you get up towards the upper slopes there. And then eventually you can see the warmer air that we have down to the south will even get pushed down a little bit further south as this snow system heads east. But then it's off to the races in terms of temperatures. We're now into the Sunday time frame. You can see much of that cold air is now up in eastern Canada. We start to recover those temperatures with that strong sun angle. A decent warm up all the way up to the Canadian border by next Monday. Minneapolis, you could be in the 70s by next week after temps in the 30s this week. And you can see that warm up now spreading east into the Ohio Valley. We're now warm up towards New Jersey, the eastern seaboard. A pretty nice spring bounce as we get into next week's temperature. But again, a very fine line we'll have to watch off towards the northeast. So upper areas of New England, Vermont, New Hampshire, up towards coastal Maine may still be in the cooler conditions. But for everyone else, we've got a nice springtime warm-up heading on the way. All right, thanks for checking us out. We appreciate your support, and hit subscribe if you get a chance. If you don't get a chance, you have one right now. Thanks for checking us out. Bye.